okay too to go, right, there's going to be stuff for me to do tomorrow. But it's right now, I can...
Here at 10 o'clock on a Sunday. It's been walking by the way, casual, like confident chase. If you've been waiting for us and you say, hey, why have they not been forcing? The reason why is because we got busy. Oh, I mean, my main reason.
Oh yeah, no, we're all busy.
But I'm glad to be back. It's been a few months.
Good to be back, D, and man, things are changing. And isn't it interesting, mate, I love it.
Forgot the microphone. That's how great we are.
Mate, you're hard to keep up with. What I find interesting in the market is seeing the narrative of what's playing out in Australia, right? And they're just going, oh, no one's coming through open homes. No one's registering. No one's coming to bid. And I went online and I had a look at a lot of their listings, and it's just all the wrong language. The agents are still expecting, they're worried about OCR, or whatever. Do they call it OCR in Australia?
It's different, but yeah.
Whatever they call it. We all know what I'm talking about. And so they're just realizing that they've got to change, and they just keep on talking about the market. We're in New Zealand, we're just going, this is the norm now. So if there's not a market coming to your property in the first couple of weeks, man, you got to get out there and you got to get them in. You got to hustle. So quite interesting how that whole thing is shifting for us. It's the norm for us now.
Well, it's been the norm for about 5 years, I feel. And I at the start of 2022, as things were changing, a lot of agents back then that did not have the skills are not operating today. Now they've got a full-time job. And I feel what you're saying, well, Australians will have to wake up that they need to work harder and be better at what they do. Otherwise, the money's not coming in as it's been for the last how many years for them.
Well, they've just had such, before the buyers had to chase you. Now we have to chase the buyers. We've got to convince the buyers to engage. And we're doing a lot of training at the moment when you're running a campaign. Like if someone rings you up on the phone or they make an inquiry and you don't convert that into a viewing or engagement into the property, then it's on you, the agent, is it not? They've made the inquiry, so whatever you've said is the wrong thing.
It's interesting. I had an agent recently no longer being part of the team, and
good people. Doesn't work out.
It didn't work out on both sides, and I had a list of inquiries I was getting for this property through Facebook, which are low quality. We call them low quality, right? Yeah. And I passed them on to Frankie, and Frankie, of course, working in the team. And it's interesting, the same sets of contacts, the same basically leads, as you want to call them, two different people, two different results. Appraisal booked, buyer appointments, and one property now under contract because the buyer was ready to buy, and they didn't receive the service that they needed to engage with a particular agent in that sense, right? And so level of inquiries doesn't matter, it's the level of the skills that you have with those inquiries.
Yeah, how you engage it. I've been doing some work with a young team for Wallace, right? And they're a team that's embracing AI, and it's quite interesting what they're doing. But I was doing a session with them on the phone, and I was just hearing the standard scripts. Hi, Aaron here from Aaron Davis Real Estate. How can I help you? Yes, that property there. Yeah, that's on the market for $699. Would you like to have a look at it? And what would the buyer say?
Wow, it's boring.
Oh,
it's boring.
And you'd hear them say, okay, email that email through the details. And I'm like, mate, get on that phone. Hi, how can I make your day more memorable? Yes, you're inquiring regarding that property at $699. One recently sold at $730. One sold at $740. Relative to today, right? Law of comparison. Man, opportunities don't last this long. Hey, D, that thing on 26, is that still available? Oh yeah, no, it's still available. Like just good old fashioned,
hustling.
Hustling.
Man. That's what it is, right? It's
but hustle. Relative, because as we know, there's so much competition. You've got to get them, and you've got like 60 seconds to tell them you know what you're talking about. And it's a really, really good decision that they've phoned you. You're so clever in phoning me because this is the best property at the best money right now. And if you don't move, no problem. Move on.
It's interesting as well. You're talking about calling, and by the way, shout out to Ben at Wallace. I think is a great, smart guy, and he's doing a really good job. So
young Luke. Yep.
It's Luke.
Everyone can teach you something, right?
He's doing a great job. That We're talking about calling, and it's interesting because now in New Zealand there are some new service providers that offer mobile numbers. So now you can start calling numbers of people that might live on the street, right? And it's a two sides of that coin, because as an agent, you're calling someone unsolicited, and sometimes people can get a little bit rude. Like, how did you get my number? Right? And it's, here's like, well, you got to be creative in what you say, but have integrity. So, hey, it took me a lot of energy to find your number, but the reason why I wanted to speak to you is because this, and that, right? But in 2026, you got to market like it's 2026. And I feel people still market like it was 1980s or 1990s or the early 2000s. I don't know. You probably see it more than most because you speak with a lot of agents across Auckland, the country, and whatnot.
And how's that new app? Like, my frustration at the moment, when you ring a number and it says, please leave a description of what you're after, and it's like it's been texted to the agent. I don't know
how it works. Is this? It's showing your height, but I
just go, what the? You're basically qualifying to say if I'm important or not, right?
Exactly. Especially if you're an agent. If you're an agent and you have that service, you should fire yourself, because that is literally pushing business away. But the reason why people do it, I can understand. If they don't need people to call them, I can understand why I don't want to speak to anyone. But as an agent, you cannot have that,
No.
You cannot have that.
Because if I ring up and say, hi, it's so-and-so here, and I'm phoning regarding this, and you don't phone me back, it said that you've looked at the message and said, no, it's not important, you don't ring me back. And we both know that if I left a message saying, hi, I own a $3 million property, I've got to be in XYZ in 3 weeks, and I have to sell cash unconditional, and I'm prepared to pay full commission, please call me back, that person would call me back in 2 minutes. So isn't it interesting, the roadblocks? Or my other hate's a strong word. So my dislike is I return text faster than phone, or don't leave an answer phone message. What? I don't get it. And they're complaining about the market?
The only time you don't leave an after phone message, a message is when they say, please don't leave me a message and text me instead. And then you respect it. But otherwise, the way I see it is like, it might be one of those people that never listens to them and their voicemail is full, and it's fine. But if it's one of those people that will clear their voicemail straight away, I want them to hear that I'm professional. Hey, it's Diego here. Sorry I missed you now, but I need to speak to you urgently. Could you please call me back or text me? I'll call you right back. I'll be available for the next 45 minutes. Doesn't it show that you're onto it?
Well, it does. And see, like, you communicate always in text first, right? And that's I know that's how we engage. Some people call, some email, WhatsApp. That's my other one, is the WhatsApp. And they go, you didn't return my WhatsApp. It's like,
how many chats have you got that was on your WhatsApp? Because you don't use it as a primary. That's not your thing, right? You use it if somebody like me puts you on the chat.
Like,
it's not like I need to message someone I go on WhatsApp. You probably hate that thing.
No, I don't hate it.
Dislike it.
But you got to find out how people want to engage, how they want to communicate. I hear you asking that your clients all the time. Level of communication is good. What channels do you want to use? So just read your market, move fast, and please take responsibility that if no one is engaging, if no one's calling you, then man, just change your words to change your business, change your language. It makes so much difference.
Shout out at NZ you doing your script session. It was one of the highlights for the day for me. Obviously, I've known you for a long time, you're my mentor, but people as well say that those 20 minutes were fire. So, change your words, change your language. That was a brilliant session.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to acknowledge it.
And what was the lesson for me? I rose and had a level of ability, and I lived off that reputation for a couple of years, and you saw some of those presentations that were average.
Missed someone's name.
Below average, right?
I remember, yeah.
And that was the reality with you giving me a chance to go, like, I practiced my little backside, and it was just another good learning. And for all those watching too, listing presentations, like, are you actually doing something different than what you were 2-3 months ago with a zero-sum game? So man, that was like the 6th time I gave that impromptu speech on the stage.
The best impromptu was reversed, isn't it?
Yeah, 3 months in advance. Yeah. So yes, I think the market's the market. It's a great time now for us to nail down our language, because one of my favorite, and it's funny, it's not trickery, I always used to feel frustration that I'd be like, I need to communicate something to someone, but they're not getting it. So we call it scripts. I think it's the wrong thing, scripts. It's just good language. Are you closed-minded to the possibility?
No.
You
cannot say yes.
You cannot say yes.
No.
And it's just good words that every time I'm out there with people in negotiation, with listing presentations, are you closed-minded to the possibility? Well, no, and it just leaves that door ajar for you. So
The one thing that I find that has been working better than in the past is giving people options. This is what we can do. You got 2, 3 options, whatever you are. And I feel whether that's at this time of signing the listing and coming on the market, or whether it's at the point of we're negotiating a multi-offer, or whether we are under the hammer and, you know, we got to discuss what options they have moving forward. Giving people options, and normally it's no more than 2 to 3 options, right? Because otherwise it get complicated. But in most cases, hey, whether we sell by auction, whether we sell by deadline, there's not many options, but you got to give them a few options, right? And if you can explain the pros and cons of each option, that's how you make people confident in the journey. And I feel people are not doing that well enough. They're not giving the right options at the right time, and then vendors and buyers feel an edge of uncertainty. Are we doing the right thing? Are we approaching it the best way? Because they've not been guided. And then what they do, Aaron, they go on AI, they search, they Google, and sometimes their advice is right, sometimes it's not. So I feel that as agents, as professionals, if we can give better advice, the clients, the customers will have a better journey.
Oh, yeah. And isn't it, as soon as you're saying that, I'm ringing on some podcast that I recently heard about, because when you give them choices, the decision's theirs. No one, they're always up with, you know, we're in sales going, this is my recommendation, what's the hook? No, here's an option, you choose. So I like that people, because when I make a decision, I own that decision because I've made that choice, which is really clever. Correct. I like that.
It's just the one thing. If everyone can do that better, I think that, you know, the business will be better and the clients will be happier. So at the end of the day, look, without being a high horse, this job is pretty simple. Give a good experience and provide good service. So that people are buying and selling and navigating what a stressful time can be in the easiest possible way. Our job is to give someone the road with less resistance, right? Less stress, less sleepless nights. That's what we're supposed to do. We're not there. I love miracles, but I'm not Jesus, right? So all I can do is the best that I can do. And this job is not hard because people overcomplicate it and they're on the monkey. It's not our fault. Oh, it's if you do what you can best, the rest is at the mercy of what's happening out there.
And can I suggest, I couldn't agree more. We come back to relative to the last 2 to 3 weeks. If agents, whether you're a listing specialist, when you're a buyer's associate, if you can concentrate and know your market in the last 4 weeks, then you can show vendors where it is today and you can show buyers where it is today. I'm still seeing people looking in that rear vision mirror on what was. And before we started the podcast, right, there's so much uncertainty. Everyone knows it. Everyone feels the pressure. So relative today, if you become a specialist in that, I'm like I say to your associates, right? Love your guys. Hey, tell me what sold last week. Tell me what didn't sell last week. Tell me what's new to the market. Then you can share that information, because that's where I see most of the conflict happening with vendors who just don't know what's happening in the last couple of weeks.
That takes me to technology, a little bit of a side shift or a sideways.
No.
However, it was harder until a few months ago, even for someone like myself, to actually spend little time to find a lot of information about a particular property or a certain suburb or whatever there might be. With AI right now, my job is somewhat easier because I've got all of the information that I need to give my clients. And I'm not just talking about what's sold, but I'm talking as well about other trends. I'm talking about as well what's on the market what didn't sell, and all of that. Now, if you want to, this information was always been available, but now it's available in 10 minutes. Before, it would have taken me half a day to have a full comprehensive approach.
Yes.
And I feel that if in 2026 you market like it's 2021 or whatever other year before last year, you're actually not doing a good job yourself. So I feel that this is not a plug for any website or product, because we're not getting sponsored by them. However, there is enough out there for someone to be able to to do a job better. And I feel that's something that if you're an agent, if you're watching, you probably should be better at that to make your life easier.
Yeah, well, I employed a guy last week, a good fella. He doesn't have good skill. His name's Rysel. And so what he's done, he's an AI guy. He's got the bot. I've given him all my logins. So what it does, it logs in to REINZ on my behalf.
Beautiful.
It pulls all the data. You know when CVs and all those are sometimes missing? It then scrapes the Auckland Council website, goes and looks for the CV, goes on to Trade Me and One Roof and looks at all those platforms to try and find all the information, puts it all together, fills in the Excel sheet. Like, it cost me $3,000, right? So now in real time, I can tell you as of yesterday, on average in Auckland, what was it? It was 2.8% below CV was the average, selling below CV. So it's just every day, this bot's just going in there, pulling the data, scraping it, and just giving me exactly what the numbers are.
Can you pass on the numbers to me?
Of course I will, Diego. That's exactly the value. That's the value that you add in real time. And like that used to take 7 or 8 hours. And half the information was missing.
That's what I mean, right? That's why. So now it's criminal. If you are a professional in this industry, and I'm looking at you, if you're a professional in this industry and you're not market like it's 2026, you're doing a disservice to your clients. You're doing a disservice to your clients and to yourself, right? Because ultimately, the people that will succeed, and let's talk about just briefly, there is products right now that create a CMA in less than 5 minutes on using AI, which 80% of the time, they're very accurate and good. Yeah. So like, again, if people think, oh, we're going to be replaced. No, we're not. People still need the actual advice. If you use AI, your job will be easier. Yeah. You can do it faster, you can do it better, but you're able to provide a better service. And I feel you got to do it, and good on you for doing it yourself.
Well, it's just a cost. We haven't, you had the classic auction on Friday night.
That was a beautiful
where the vendor tried to sell it privately at $950.
They had an offer for $960 and they said no.
No, you took it to auction and you got 2 buyers in there, and they both said to us, right, I was never going to pay this money until they both looked at each other, and the final sale price was
just shy than 1.2.
Yeah, $1,196,000.
There you go.
So that was the value, because there's always going to be a difference.
There's always is. And in that case, we're going to calculate it exactly, but that was over 200 grand, 240 grand difference.
Yeah.
So good on them. And good on Frankie if you're watching this as well, because she was amazing. And isn't it interesting, right? Like, yeah, it's I love this job because I love what I do, because actually helps people. It genuinely helps people. And whether you're helping someone in your team to become better like Frankie, or whether you help a client, or whether you help someone that had a shit experience with someone else before, and all of a sudden then they realize that although real estate is at the bottom of the pile for the most trusted professions in New Zealand, and that really, really upsets me, genuinely upset. Used car salesmen were at the bottom, and now somehow we've got at the bottom of them. But it's not everyone like that, and I feel agents should be better. So hopefully they watch this, and I don't know, they get some inspiration, because it's frustrating, isn't it?
Well, it is, but I think as things move forward, we all have to adapt and evolve. And I've been caught out of that, 2 years ago with resting on my laurels. So I think moving forward with this, where the market's going, we're just going to see less and less and less agents, because there'll be more specialists, more skill sets that people need. Combined with AI, there are going to be less agents in the market. Like, there's not going to be more agents.
No, we were talking about it before, right? I just want to say thank you for watching. And I was just posting something on the Cut to the Chase page, and I noticed there was 2 or 3 questions from people, and I did not check page for quite a while. So I sincerely want to apologize. Now, we are going to be doing this as we, every few weeks, once we got some time, and we'll have a little bit of a longer session. So the next episode will feature those questions. And
Cool.
if you got anything that you want us to talk about and us share our opinion, genuinely you'll make our life easier, because it just means that we can come in with a schedule of a few points, and then we will love to help you if we can. So happy with that?
I'm more than happy, but I'm doing an exercise at the moment. I can give you any location in Auckland on any platform, and just go in and go, right, give me any location in New Zealand. Any location, Diego. Timaru, I can go Timaru properties for sale, and I can go the most recently listed that are paying for the super feature, and I can strip it apart and show you how bad it is. Features, not benefits, not selling the story, not giving us a genuine reason why someone should buy it, the order of the photographs. It's just people have got to sort it out.
What's the easiest solution to that? Because
well, you've got to think, but we'll touch on that in detail next time.
Next time? All
It'll
right.
make a massive difference to people and help you stand out.
I look forward to hear that, because I'm genuinely excited. All right, cut to the chase. Please I genuinely would like for you to share this with any agent that you might think that might benefit, or anyone, buyer, vendor, someone that you say, hey, they're struggling in the real estate market. Maybe watch these two guys. We've got a few years experience, and if we can help anyone and we have a couple of laughs, I'm happy with that.
Why not? And if you ring, I'm going to call you back.
Yeah, Nick, we'll always, within half an hour, right? Thanks for watching. We'll
Cut
see you
to the
next time.
chase.